pinches it right, and we go to overtime. Into overtime we go. The Eagles alive, but Arizona wins the toss. This time, Jackie, second chance, 32 yards, squeezes it through the middle, and Arizona wins it, 20-17. OT shot with 174 for Morel to offset 141 yards rushing by Deuce Staley. And Arizona at 7-7 controls the destiny. They have 2 home games against New Orleans and San Diego. They control their own destiny in that race for the final wild card spot. Arizona surviving, Tom.
Yeah, and Jake Plummer got some balance from Adrian Morel with those 32 carries and 174 yards, and that's what a quarterback needs going down the stretch.
A lot of Eagles fans showed up at the game and shred their tickets and didn't go in. By the way, Coy Detmer, some of your actions when you throw a touchdown pass, grow up, be a professional. Bucks Steelers, Mike Allstott, could he get the Bucks going? Jaguars Oilers, Fred Taylor, 1,000-yard back, would it be enough?
Well, my first tattoo was mostly my whole back. So.
And that was his second?
This was my second, yeah. I don't know, it's friendship tattoos in Tibet. And
yeah, I mean, we really don't.
4 Super Bowls between them for the NFC. One of these men, Bill Parcells, Jimmy Johnson, wants to win the AFC. That game at 8:15 after primetime. Oilers, Jaguars in Alltel Stadium. Jamie Martin from
Weber State
starting for the injured Mark Brunell, and that was Steve McNair's shoe. Turf toe, but hey, down 10-0. McNair creates with Kevin Hardy, hanging all over him. The dump to Eddie George. Got it to the right guy, Tom.
Yeah, Eddie George showing a lot of power, and this is something they've done a lot more this year, passing the ball to Eddie George.
Set up a touchdown, make it 10-7, right in front of Phil Luckett. Was it heads or tails? That was cheap. But anyway, he was dumped and no call. Martin, out of the pocket. He's hit. All those Jacksons can hit. That's Steve Jackson. Martin hurts his knee. Can't go to Mark Brunell. He's in street clothes. So Jonathan Quinn from
Middle Tennessee State
gets the call. Come on without. Come on within. You ain't seen nothing except he wasn't a mighty enough Quinn. Picked off by Darrell Lewis. 13-0 with 2 minutes to go. McNair to Franks. Wycheck. 10 yards. 2 plays later, tie game. McNair. He ran for 81 yards in addition for throwing over 200. Down to the 28. 8 seconds to go. Al Del Greco. Watch for under the goalpost. The Jags mascot. Says Tom Coughlin. Hey, says Al Del Greco. Al's such a great golfer. Looked like he shanked a pitching wedge, but it was good from 41 yards. And Jacksonville loses at home for only the second time in 21 games. The Oilers win it by the count of 16-13. And we told you about McNair in that ball game. Tennessee could still catch Jacksonville, but they have to win against Green Bay and win against Minnesota and hope that Jacksonville loses to Minnesota and loses to Pittsburgh. Gutty game for McNair. Steelers, Buccaneers. Bill Cowher's offense, it's been almost idle. Cordell Stewart, third quarter, Steelers trailing 6-3, picked off by John Lynch on a rainy day at the new Sombrero. Lynch will return it to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and this pass thrown without a lot of pressure on Cordell Stewart goes a little bit high. Lynch does a great job of really planting himself on the ground to make sure he's going to get the catch and then brings the ball back the other way.
Stewart gets benched in favor of Mike Tomczak, and read Cowher's lips. Don't do it here. Don't discuss it here. Right?
Yes, there's another place and time.
Steelers down 6-3. Mike Tomczak is in. Steve White on the rush. Hits a fumble. Warren Sapp falls on it at the 7-yard line of the Steelers. Stewart not happy because he wants the Bucs score to make it 13-3. Tomczak overthrows Charles Johnson. Lynch, Johnny on the spot again, returns it to the 40. Cowher says, Cordell, now it's your turn. I've seen enough of the veteran. Down 16-3, $1:15 to go. 4th and 3. Stewart, intercepted by Donnie Abraham. Today he was intercepted by Abraham, Martin, and John. 3 interceptions by Stewart, and the Buccaneers continue a great week. The Pack on Monday night, they beat the Steelers on Sunday 16-3 for the Tampa Bay Bucs, who now at 7-7 are very much alive, and Bill Cowher has endured his first 3-game losing streak as a Steeler coach.
Well, the Steelers are a team right now that lack balance. They've had sometimes the passing game, sometimes the running of Jerome Bettis. Today they had neither. They got the 63 yards rushing from Jerome Bettis. They had 88 from Cordell Stewart, 9 of 21 with 3 interceptions. So I think that, when the coach approaches you and said, we'd like to try something new, you have to be approachable as a player. And Bill Cowher is such a fine coach and has backed this quarterback,
Yes.
Cordell Stewart,
Yes,
on
he
so
has.
many occasions when no one else would, that I think that Cordell was definitely out of line.
He's trying to win games. He's trying to get things jump-started, and Cowher is with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay, with that defense, could be formidable in a round or two.
Well, you wouldn't want to play him first round. You wouldn't want to play him second round.
Bucks still very much alive. But we continue here. Raiders trying to get back going, but boy, the Bills have been moving since late September. Patriots figured this was their breather in St. Louis after their 3-game winning streak. That's what they figured. That's why they play the games. Proof again that no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. An 0-3 start. Now they're trying to get in the playoffs. Raiders have lost 3 in a row, and they go to Wade Wilson. Second start since '93, wearing George Blanda's 16. Picked off by Kurt Schultz, who knows everything. Wilson, 5 years older than his coach, John Gruden. Doug Flutie, 13 yards. Jay Reamersma, 10-0 Bills early second quarter. Same score, second quarter punt to Kevin Williams. Williams, down the right side, runs over the helmet. He could go all the way. Oh, he's just tripped up by Leo Araguz, but at least he passed to Lonnie Johnson for a touchdown, 17-0. Buffalo, dead. Buffalo defense. Third quarter, when Wilson competes the pass to Ricky Dudley, Ken Irvin with the hit. Fumble! Phil Hansen recovers, sets up a field goal. Not good for the Raiders. Next possession, Wilson hit by Bruce Smith. Bruce Smith, Phil Hansen from the ends, and they combine for the touchdown. 2 defensive touchdowns for the Bills. There's one of them. They keep the pressure on. And you know what it's like to play with a big lead and pin your ears back. This is Gabe Northern exposure. Pick, return, and the touchdown. And the Bills go on to crush the Raiders, 44-21. Trying to join the 4 other teams, one which was in a strike season, to start 0-3 or worse and make the playoffs. For the Raiders, who are once 7-3, they're going backwards in a hurry. And the Bills are now 7-2 in games started by Doug Flutie.
Yeah, and Doug Flutie, 17 of 26. You see the good completion percentage and very effective inside the red zone where you would think he might have a problem with his height. He doesn't.
Doug Flutie in the USFL and NFL, 18-0 as a starter at home. Wade Phillips, by the way, 8-1 in that classic leave-raking sweater. Patriots, Rams. Drew Bledsoe playing with a pin in his broken finger. Pin sticking out. Bledsoe looking for Lovett Purnell. You don't love it here. Picked off by Todd Light. 13-yard return. The Rams are one of their last 12 at home, but they lead 10-0, and Bledsoe leads for 2 series to have a splint change. Scott Zolak Zolak, sacked by Ray Agnew of the silent majority, recovered by Grant Wistrom. Rams get the ball 3 plays later. Tony Banks to pass. Henry Thomas hits Banks. Knee buckles. Bad sight. Torn left MCL for Banks. His season is over. Steve Bono came in, but the other end, Terry Glenn, gone. Fractured ankle. So he's out again. Who's left? Robert Edwards. 166 yards in the first half, Tom.
And you see the quickness to the hole, the break to the outside. He gets every inch he can before he's knocked out of bounds.
Early in the second, first play, 4th and 1. Edwards stopped, though, by the Rams defense, who came to play today, Tommy.
Yeah, and you're going to see them take Robert Edwards take the pitch down around the goal line. He's going to get hit underneath, but great hustle by Ray Agnew right there to stop him right at about the 3-inch line from getting into the end zone.
The 1 line as he's spearoed by Agnew. Forces him for a field goal. Oh, those tricky Rams. As Zahir Hakeem had 2 touchdowns. Faster than you could say his name. On the handoff from June Henley. Wow, what a time for the Patriots to snap that 3-game winning streak, finishing with San Francisco and the Jets. They lose a key game at the Rams, 32-18, and they're starting to lose some of their players, and Bledsoe was playing hurt.
Well, and I think we saw the numbers when Terry Glenn is not in the lineup. This could be the most crucial injury that they've suffered all year.
When we return, the Falcons, do they up their mark to 12-2 with the playoff bound, or hopeful Saints have other ideas? Packers-Bears are the oldest rivalry in football. First time they've met all year. It's about time. Dan Marino. You might have heard of him. Quarterback, Dolphins, been around a few years. Dolphins-Jets for first place in the AFC East. Coming up in about 13 minutes. For the 156th time, the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers from Lambeau Field. Brett Favre and the Pack have won 8 straight against the Bears. Favre, 6 fumbles last week. Oh, the pick to Walt Harris this week. Steps in front, 13-9. Bears take it upset.
Harris does a great job of following Brett Favre's eyes and making a break on the football in front of Freeman. That's an easy walk to the end zone, about 12 yards.
Not many names that you recognize left for the Pack, but down 13-9 in the third. The floater to Mark Shimura. A couple last week. Here's another one here. 16-13 Pack. Fourth quarter. Favre. Antonio Freeman playing with the busted jaw. Touchdown. 13 yards. He says, I just can't jump in. No Lambeau leap right now. You understand, huh? 23-13. Under 4 minutes to go at 26-13. And Glenn Milburn. Packers have given up a couple of returns this year, and they've given up another one. Could go all the way. 2 touchdowns on return for Milburn this year, 26-20. Bears don't get a disputed onside kick, but get it back here. Steve Stenstrom looking like Bobby Douglas, down to the 25. Not anymore. Second down. Billy Lyon with the sack. Well, here's Reggie White with the sack on third down, making it 69 quarterbacks he's gotten in his career. Santana Dotson, Oye Kamova with the sack on fourth down. So the Packers win a toughie against the Chicago Bear team, at least still playing hard for Dave Wannstedt, but the Pack win it 26-20 in a game in which Dorsey Levens ran for 105 yards. That's the most important development of the day for the Pack. Falcons at the Saints. Saints at home have not allowed a touchdown defensively in the last 3 games. Kerry Collins picked off by Ray Buchanan from
Louisville.
4th interception in 5 games for Buchanan, 7 on the year. Falcons trying to take advantage. Chris Chandler. Chances are he hits Terrence Mathis. Bounces off 2 Saints. 62-yard touchdown, 14-0 Atlanta in the first quarter. Collins looking deep.
Yeah, Kerry Collins trying to go deep again, but this one's going to be picked off by Eugene Robinson from
Hartford, Connecticut. The Dirty Bird continues. Little role reversal here. Boom! Even when they try the option pass, Lamar Smith just plowed. Collins, anyone that's thrown a pass, in danger. Meanwhile, late second quarter, still 14-0. Chris Chandler picked off by Fred Weary. He was wide awake on this play. Rob Kelly, just slams Chandler. Touchdown. 14-7. The defense scoring for the Saints. Third quarter, first possession. Keith Mitchell plows Chandler. Fumble. Mark Fields. Strawberry Fields forever. 8 defensive touchdowns for Mike Ditka's squad this year. $1:30 to go in the third. Jamal Anderson on a drive that started about the 5-yard line. Kelly, who plowed Chandler, gets plowed by Anderson. All Stadion sound effects. 20-17 Falcons. Chandler, Mathis, slant. Saints having problems defending this play. Slants going for touchdowns. Chris Chandler, 345 yards passing, shook off the 2 INTs, threw the 2 touchdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, the Falcons have won 12 for the second time in team history. They beat the Saints 27-17. Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, Atlanta.
Well, and 148 yards rushing for Jamal Anderson, but 182 for them as a team, 37 carries, and that is the Dan Reeves game plan. He is going to run the football, set up play-action pass, and give his quarterback a chance to get comfortable.
We saw how hard Chandler got hit. He limped to the sidelines at one point. When he came in and a drive had started on their own 5, the whole team, you could see their play elevated, and they drove the length of the field for a big field goal. They really respond with him. When we return, talk about a team that responds. Vikings in Baltimore to play the Ravens. Could the Chiefs, after that emotional effort last week against Denver, come home and give the Cowboys all they could handle? We'll see.
Today's Sports Century Classic Moment is brought to you by GMC Trucks.
Still smarting from a humiliating 73-0 loss to the Bears 2 years earlier, the